we have Rob, who's going to present today. And I'll be keeping track of your time.
Okay. Let's grab this from you. How's everybody doing?
Good.
I'm Rob Deviney. I'm a local event organizer here in the area. I've been doing events for over 10 years. I've worked with Norva, I've worked with ECSE, several different other organizations. And what we're doing this summer is we have an event called ICE. ICE stands for Innovation, Culture, and Extreme. It's 3 different phases, and it will take place August 27th through September 4th at the Virginia Beach Oceanfront and Hampton to kick off. August 27th, we will be starting in Hampton with a, are you guys familiar with Tech Cocktail at all? Show of hands. Okay. Tech Cocktail brings in startups. They have people pitch to them potential investments, and from there, it's sort of like a Shark Tank type of forum. So on August 27th, we'll be at the Air and Space Museum to start the conference festival, and from there, we will jump over to the Virginia Beach Oceanfront for the remainder of the week. We will be in between ECSE and American Music Festival, so there will be nothing going on during that week. We'll be featuring several different events with music, which is the culture side of it, and then extreme sports. We'll have several different sports stars coming in. We have DVS Shoes as one of the sponsors. That'll be coming in with Wee Man, Daewon Song, who's a professional skateboarder, one of the top skateboarders in the U.S. right now. And then we will have several different speakers coming in. We have Charles Kisser, who's a Bitcoin expert. We have Danny Hewitt, son of John Hewitt, who will be speaking. We have David Dickens, who owns a music production company out of Los Angeles that will come in to speak to people about the music industry. Those events will be taking place all week long. We'll have several different venues and places down at the oceanfront that'll be hosting this as we're doing it. So we have several different bands playing, over 40 bands with over 10 million social media followers combined with all the bands. We're getting a lot of coverage with this already, a lot of national press for this. We don't plan on this being a local festival. This is going to be a national festival. Within 5 years, it'll be up there with ECSE. It's one of the top festivals here in the region. And part of it's going to be more of a South by Southwest feel, since it'll be spread out among venues and places. It's not going to be in one location. As you can see, our goals for this year are to have the #1 Facebook event site. Right now, we're right around number 13 for Virginia Beach, but we need to get up to #1 as far as traffic. We're looking to have 5,000 attendees this year, and 1/3 of those will be from out of town. The big, part of the reasons are we want this to be an event for millennials, and we want to stop the brain drain, which, as you know, is quite a problem here in the area. We want to add to the ecosystem of resources that are already here, startup weekends, things of that nature, and obviously be targeted as a national event through the nation. Our event plan right now that is already mapped out, the innovation part, we'll have the Tech Cocktail, which will be August 27th, and then we have the Crypto 757, which will be the speakers that I spoke about. That'll be September 2nd and 3rd. The culture part, the music, will be going on during the entire week, August 28th through September 4th. And then we will have a Monte Carlo night, which will be sponsored by the 757 Angels, which will be a mix and mingle. That'll be the last night of it. But during the day, we will have a block party at Coastal Edge, the big location, 21st Street with Route 247. Our title sponsor will be helping to put that on. I'll talk about them more in a bit, but we'll have a Zumba event too for anybody who wants to go out there and sweat to death, during the festival in 5,000-degree weather. Won't be me. But yeah, like I said, we have the Monte Carlo night. The proceeds from that will be working with LZ Grace, which is a Warriors retreat that provides shelter for wounded veterans, people coming back from the war and things of that nature, to help them heal and recover and kind of reconnect with the world here as they come back in. As we were talking about earlier, these are our speakers. Charles Kisser, Executive Vice President of Corporate Development at Bitcoin Shop, Inc. Carol Van Cleef, she's a co-founder of Global Payments Practice Group. David Dickens, who is with Alumni Tour Entertainment and Champion Touring Agency. And obviously Danny Hewitt, who's CEO of Hewitt Enterprises, Chief Marketing Officer at American Title Loans, and he's a best-selling author as well. He wrote a book called This Is How We Hewitt.
1 minute.
Okay. So as you see from last year, these were our sponsors from last year. We have already started going over where I am here. We have a lot more sponsors. We're a little all over the map this year, more on a national scale. We are looking for more sponsors to come in, to sponsor the speaking engagements and things of that nature. Route 247 is our title sponsor this year. I'm going to let Maria come up right now and give you a brief overview. Maria, and
Maria's going to pass it on.
they're going to tell you real quick within
We have a time
last
constraint,
minute.
so we're
Sorry.
running right into it.
Yeah.
I'm Lisa White, this is Maria Jacovitas, and we are co-conspirators for Route 247. Route 247 was sort of shaped out of, in response to some of the education challenges that are facing, not just local education systems, but nationally. And so things like apathetic students, uninvolved parents, overworked teachers, so on and so forth. Basically, it's a 4-year peer-run mentorship program. It's thematic throughout the years. The framework is largely based on a mobile app in which students can access challenges and projects, accrue points, and then trade those points in for rewards. And those rewards can be anywhere from something intangible to tangible. We want to work in a portal for the parents so they can actually start monitoring the students' points and also participate themselves, something also for the teachers as well. Essentially, this is so we are starting to graduate students who are more ready, responsible, and respectful for what the world has, whatever path they create. So this is actually not just for students on the academic track, it's for all students to be involved in. Okay.
That's great.
Thank
Good,
you,
wow.
Lisa. Now we'll be starting a 20-minute Q&A session. So what are your questions?
Just a real quick point of information. So did you say the proceeds that are going to LZ Warrior Grace are for the whole event or for one
For
event?
Monte Carlo night.
For the Monte Carlo.
Yeah, which is a separate ticket,
Got it.
which is a suggested donation.
I want to make sure I didn't get that wrong.
Yes, yes.
All right, great idea. I like what I'm seeing, but you're right, for just seeing it for the first time, I get this impression, it seems to be all over the map.
Right.
And you've got all these different activities. What is it's like the ultimate kind of a mashup. What is it? That's, I'm going back to, you've got tech startups with some really kind of interesting music and all that. So
Right. Have you been to South by Southwest?
Nope. And
Okay.
so I'm speaking
It's a
for
similar
a majority of
mashup to
people
South by
that
South.
have
If
not.
you go to South by Southwest, you're going to go and you're not even going to know. It's all over the map, but it's all over the map in a good way. You're going to have tons of events going on that you can go to. You can come from out of town. You can take, if you have a startup company, you can come pitch your ideas. You're going to see a lot of bands as a millennial that you probably grew up with that you haven't seen in 5 to 10 years. It's a conference music festival. It's a music festival and a conference at the same time. But it's not going to, we're going to have several different events going on during the week where you can pick and choose what you're going to go to, through an app, through the website. You can see, you can pick your schedule out.
You are, follow up on Steve's,
Yeah.
Dave. You're telling me a lot about what you're doing. You're not telling me what I'm gonna experience, what I'm gonna get out of it. So I have a list of activities. You describe it's like something else.
Right.
I'd like to hear it's, we're gonna change the world. We're gonna,
Right.
give me a higher purpose. Give me something that brings the
Well,
innovation
this
and
is
the cool
something
together.
this is something that Hampton Roads has never done.
Well, I know, but you've
So-
got a
so-
voice. You've got 1 million face
Right.
followers. You got all these bands and things. They're going to look at this event. So what
Right.
you need? I think you need a theme or something that to brand the event around.
Right. Well, I mean, it's innovation, culture, and extreme. It's 3 different things.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So one of the things about I've been to South by, the density of that region is really key. And the fact that
Right.
they have the conference center, and then you walk through basically those streets, and it's just bar after bar after bar, where there's music and or a corporate sponsored happy hour.
right.
Well, that's one of the things that I've struggled with here. How are we going to get that density here? Is it because it's all going to be down on the ocean front of the block, but then there's this thing in Hampton. So like
Well, the thing in Hampton-
density factor.
Yeah, the thing in Hampton is just a kickoff part, and that's
Okay.
Tech Cocktail. That's just the first night. The Tech Cocktail already kind of brands that
Yeah.
because they're from DC. So when they come in, I mean, that's their event that we're kind of tying
But
into.
then everything else happens.
Everything else is at the
That's
ocean.
the first thing we say, where I bought my VIP ticket, so I'm definitely stoked.
Yeah.
Looking forward to coming. I'm gonna go see Agent Orange, big time.
Everything is at the ocean front. Everything is concentrated at the ocean front between the 8th Street Food Park and Conference Center to Shaka's Live, which will be outside. We'll have the whole entire back parking lot where you can fit about 4,000 people
Perfect.
there in the 8th Street Conference Center. So keep in mind, this is really the first year of it. They did it last year. I was brought on board to manage the event. You know, I've gone to Firefly. I've worked with those people, with Golden Voice and Coachella.
Yeah.
I've seen how those events run. And the goal is to grow this from, last year was 500 people. We're gonna do 5,000 this year.
Yeah.
Next year, we're gonna do 15,000. Then we're gonna grow it to where it's gonna be that massive here. You know, but it is a matter of, we are gonna have some bumps along the way, you know, in some of these areas. We're gonna have to, you know, maybe move it to a better, bigger concentrated area, you know, once the arena gets
Wow,
here.
yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, the goal is to have, you know, the arena's coming down there, so the goal is to concentrate it over towards the 19th Street area. Once the arena's there, you know, and you can fit 20, 30,000 people into one space.
Dave, it's like basically having a conference between two huge festivals. And the conferences.
No, the individual events sound cool.
Yeah.
I don't mean to put you on the defensive.
Absolutely not, no,
I'm probing to kind of.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, I can kind of answer your question. Part of the reason why we were attracted to this was because the idea behind with the innovation culture and extreme is to bring talent back and highlight talent that exists in this area. So it's about startups mostly in this area. It's about cultural projects that are going on mostly in this area. So that even younger people, the millennials, can see the value in what's going on here, because a lot of them don't know that there's so many amazing things, there's so many entrepreneurs around this area that they can already connect with, instead of what tends to happen is we graduate students who leave and don't come back.
So, right, so I do get I also get a little flavor of the negative with the brain drain. It's like, well, wait a minute, if Virginia Beach's brain has been drained and I live here, what does that mean about me? So if you could flip that, if you could flip that and make it, you know, a meeting, you know, just make it more positive, that would.
Well, it's a big reason why Route 247's involved too. I mean, their program, they're starting at First Colonial High School this year, and it's a student-based program, but next year they're gonna be in every school in the district, every high school in the district. So just that alone, going into next year, you're talking about getting in front of 35,000 high school students, bringing them to an event where they see all these startups, they see all these companies from Hampton Roads, they see all these people who made it from here and they're still here.
Right.
I mean, that kind of.
Right, I'm just.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And not to take off too much off of this, but did I get the gist of Route 247? It's reward systems for students?
We're meeting the students where they are, so that's why we made this a reward system and made it in the mobile app. Essentially though, the challenges and projects that they complete, which will be both in and out of school, team and individual, are to foster life skills. Not all the students are going to graduate and go to college. Some of them we know will go to trade school. Some of them, the reality is their parents before they even graduate. So we want to be able to give them the skill set that they need so that when they move on, they're able to do so productively. We just did it this way because that's the way we can meet them. If we say you complete this many projects and do this many, you have this many points, you get an iPad. We're more likely to get a return off of that. That gets them involved,
Yeah.
but then they're still learning.
And to piggyback off of Lisa, another feature in the app is that students are actually going to be able to connect with businesses, local businesses who want to participate in creating challenges for students. So that will also help with marketing in terms of these businesses getting out there, and also allow the students to again see the opportunities that exist in their own communities.
Well, you guys should apply to pitch
Yeah, I'm thinking
here.
the same thing.
Yeah.
No,
So we can
we're-
spend more time
we-
just-
We're all going,
I
why
was
don't you
trying to
apply
connect-
for
I
this?
was- and just, you answered my question earlier, because I'm trying to connect to this event and for lack of a positive term, the brain drain problem, so I kind of got it. Right?
Yeah, and that's kind of why I was, you know.
And because this
I
event
was
is,
supportive.
most of it is, especially the daytime activities, are family oriented.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we are
Definitely
very,
is.
I think he has a few more questions.
Absolutely, yeah.
Dominating.
Go, now's your chance, jump.
Is there, have you approached like recruiting agencies? I guess you know a few people that work for like Bradley Morris and stuff, that they use the South by Southwest as a big area to go. They'll hold their own conferences. Like Bradley Morris has at least 2 or 3 a year good conferences in Hampton. But they use it because they don't have to put the overhead into entertaining their clients and everything.
Exactly.
Because they can use what the pre-existing shows on the beach to take them out drinking for cheaper. But they kind of aren't the traditional people that I would thought of being at South by Southwest.
Yeah, and a few of us traveled around and went to a couple different conferences and stuff prior to this, and I think my main thing was I didn't want to bring in too much right off the bat because we needed to make sure that this could work here, that in the areas where we're going to do it. We didn't want to go too over the top with it right off the bat. We wanted, we're going from 500 people to 5,000 people in 1 year, so that's already a big climb. We want to make sure we can accommodate everybody coming, take care of them, and then next year, of course, then really start recruiting and getting the bigger nationals in.
Oh, cool.
I apologize, I showed up a little bit,
Yeah,
so
you're
if
fine.
if you'd covered it. Is there programming all day long during that week?
There will not be programming all day long.
Okay.
The events will be structured, like Friday night will go from like 5 p.m. till 2 a.m. There'll be an after party from like 11 to 2.
Okay.
Are
there?
Saturday will be all day long. It'll be from like noon till the end.
Is it multiple venues?
Yes, it'll be multiple venues.
And then, are people encouraged to bounce from one venue to
Yes.
the next?
Exactly.
Okay. And
But
then-
we're going to concentrate the majority of it, like Saturday, with all the big national acts we have in one area,
Okay.
behind Shaka's Live, and then inside we'll have like 4 different stages going on there.
And what's the biggest challenge you're facing now going into it?
Logistics with the city,
Really?
Really?
Okay.
biggest challenge.
Get them on the TV
Permits.
telling them how concerned they are about security, and that'll pump it up. So I'll be like, oh. this
Yeah,
could be
just
cool.
logistically with it being close to the block, the city is very just. They're being a little bit difficult about it, but that happens every year when you do events down there.
I think Chuck's got,
Yeah, sorry I stepped in late, I don't know if you mentioned it or not, but you realize that's the same time, August 24th through September 4th is when Sands is having a huge regional event as well.
I'm not sure what that is. I'm not familiar with
Sands
that.
is a high-end security, usually government-oriented and whatnot.
And that's down at the ocean front?
Security, yes.
Okay, it's also
actually at the pavilion.
okay.
The pavilion, how quaint.
So,
Right, that helps. I mean, when they see the lineup, a lot of those people will buy tickets to come.
I was mentioning it just because you might want to get some cross-promotion on
Oh,
their
yeah.
site. because
That's a great
obviously
idea,
you
yeah.
got
because
This is a serendipitous moment where you're gonna have those types of people in this area, and you might actually get some people to go, hey, cost of living's cheaper down here. Yes, just so you know, the
Right.
ticket price for one of the classes is about $5,000 a week, so these are not like your rookie.
So would people who come to that event be interested in like cryptocurrencies and stuff like that?
Very much so.
I mean, our ticket prices are $30 to $75.
wow.
70 for the
$30 you can. I mean, for $50 you can go the whole entire week, which is very cheap. I mean, that's not South by Southwest prices at all.
Yeah, but you got to convince them to leave their conference to
Right.
go over there, so.
Well,
you've
I
got to
don't.
get
I
them
mean,
out.
they'll see the lineup of bands and they'll go.
These guys may not be attracted
Well,
to the bands,
yeah,
but the Bitcom, okay, I'm here.
True.
This is a hot
Yeah.
topic. And that's where I think I'm getting what you're doing.
Sure.
But it's taken, 10 or 15 minutes
Yeah.
for me to get it.
Yeah.
Because, I'm an old fogey doggy, old cobwebs.
Not a millennial.
Nah,
Not a millennial, and I'm not getting, because I have not been exposed to it.
sure.
So I don't know, but right now I'm not, it's a great idea, like the thing, it's a mashup, but for the majority of us, maybe the older group in
Right.
Hampton Roads to get our attention, I don't know how you're gonna, the pitch is gonna be
Right.
something else, and I'm not
Sure.
quite sure what it is.
Sure.
One group you might reach out to, because of the word extreme, is we got some extreme military folks here in the area.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I would reach out to the SEALs, the Expeditionary Foundation, and, offer them to, come and hang out, have a, sponsor a picnic or something, but, those guys know extreme.
We
And,
are looking at the military for sure, especially with the tie-in with the
so
high
I'd give
school
it
and
that.
stuff.
And the other thing I've been trying to flip that brain dump thing. So if you how about it combining brain and ice? There's lots of cool things you can do. You know, pump your brain. You can pump your brain with innovation, with music. You know,
Oh, yeah.
you
Okay.
can. How about brain freeze? You know, you get the brain and ice thing. You know, you gotta chill. You know, chill out, chill your brain. So I think if you get, there's a bunch of good hashtags there.
We have ice and ice.
Taking
We have ice
notes,
and ice.
they're already claiming them now.
No, usually, but
Quick, get on Twitter.
you know, pump your brain at
Yeah.
you know, here, or you know,
Sure.
hashtag pump your brain.
Yeah, that's all great stuff. That's great.
Kevin's already got that locked in. You get every one of those hashtags here?
No, I am working the social
You,
media.
you can't lurk on Twitter, can you? You can't like you
Yeah, I
find
can.
a hashtag.
But you know, I think, you know, some of the marketing that we're gonna be doing for this, especially for, you know, some of the older folks that'll be more interested in the Bitcoin stuff, you know, we'll be working with, you know, we're working with Sinclair, and, you know, we'll be running ads on 790, things like that, specifically for that part, for the innovation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
again,
some of
this
the
is all
speakers were
constructive.
featured. So, you know, people, when they see somebody, you know, a speaker they wanna go see or something like that, they're gonna find out more that it's a bigger event than just that portion of it.
And I've come from this because I was trying to help promote the event to
Of
get
course.
you here,
Yeah,
and I couldn't find much from
Sure.
what was put into the application.
Mhm.
And this is very exciting, a wealth of stuff, you know, to get you revved up, get you excited, get those, you know, left-right brain going here. And that was, again, even though you've got a Facebook page you tell me has so many likes,
Right.
I had a terrible time finding it.
right.
And so I don't know what you need to do, but again, I'm not trying to be, but I think this is such a great event that needs max participation
Sure.
and opportunity exposure. I don't quite have, I wish I could sell you the absolute solution, but I'm not that kind of an expert.
Right.
But if you could, it really, I think this is a super event, really is.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, starting in July, like, that's when our marketing really starts.
Okay, that's
2
maybe
months
why I'm
straight.
not- I'm
We
sure-
had not even really started.
I'm in
on
the pre-marketing phase.
Yeah, all the radio, the television, we're doing
Okay.
movie theater ads, we're going full ballistic on marketing.
Okay, and that's maybe why I didn't
Yeah,
find anything like
yeah.
it. Okay.
Well, there's some name collision stuff that you mentioned before
Yeah.
trying to get.
You had mentioned Sinclair, have you looked at potentially, I know Kathy Lewis does a lot with business startups and whatnot in the local area, and if you want to get that older demographic,
Sure.
obviously WHRO is going to have listeners that are
Yeah.
going to be more in line with that type of demographic.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah, we have talked to, my friend David works over there at WHRO, I worked with them last year. Great people, and absolutely, we're gonna be working with them, trying to do a segment with them, some radio advertising, stuff like that. I'll probably get them to go on WHRO and talk about their program. You know, we've already talked to, we've already booked like Hampton Road Show and some.
Okay, good,
things of
good,
that
Zach,
nature.
yeah, that'd be good
Yeah.
exposure.
So, I
Great
mean,
exposure.
the marketing's gonna be there for it. It's all about how we kind of piece it together and utilize each marketing piece, you know, where we're going. Like WHRO would be great for the innovation, so that's definitely what we'll be utilizing that for.
Any other questions?
So you just go back over, so, because I didn't focus on music.
Yeah,
The conference part of it is the whole time?
it's 2 days.
2 days, okay.
Yeah,
What,
it's
2 days of the conference?
The second and the third.
Second and third for the conference. And it's keynotes?
Keynote
it's all-
speakers.
It's all keynote format or breakout? It's all keynote format?
It's keynote format, and then
All in the same plenaries?
we're waiting to hear back from Williams and Mullen to see about doing a pitch format type situation as well. I'm not sure if we're going to throw that in or not because we already have the tech cocktail going on.
Right, yeah.
But if they do decide to get involved, we will probably involve that in some shape or form.
Okay.
We just don't want to overload it, you know, with it really being the first big year of it, with too much stuff. And obviously, there is other things going on down at the beach that week, so we kind of want to make sure we don't overextend ourselves. We want every event to be successful.
Yeah, and no question, South by morphed over the years. So.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely not going to be South by for a while.
It was
Another good contact, have you talked to Lieutenant Spivey? He's the guy that's in charge of basically Virginia Beach.
Yes,
Yeah.
we've actually met with him.
Okay.
That was the
Yeah.
first hurdle. Yeah, we met with him and Mike Eason.
Okay.
Karen?
One last thing, I'm sorry I missed the beginning,
Yeah.
you lost the power last night, but,
Oh, yeah.
so I saw on your website that you have, Coastal Edge is one of your sponsors.
Correct.
So, isn't this right after ECSC, and are you tapping into that community?
Correct. Well,
Because, you know, they're the extreme
I'll tell you briefly, I'm good friends with George from ECSE. I've gone in there, my company developed their mobile application. So basically, with ECSE, they've gone away from, they still do the extreme stuff, D-Dust for Coastal Edge. They've gone away from the more extreme, cutting-edge kind of bands. Like this year, they have the Smithereens. You know, last year they had Plain White Tees. They're not really doing any edgy bands anymore down there. The Oceanfront said no more. You know, they had CKY one year, and they had to cut the power. People were getting maced in the crowd, and they didn't know how to handle it. So, you know, we're filling the void in between ECSE and American Music Festival, and we're bringing in those acts that ECSE is not doing anymore. Very successful acts that did very well for them. I think last year, Plain White Tees had 300 people watching them on the beach.
Wow.
So, I think ECSE will do very well this year, but with the extreme sports, D's coming in, this will be kind of an offshoot after ECSE. We're going to kind of use ECSE to springboard into it
That's what I was thinking.
with promotion. You know, we have a tent down there. We have a tent at Warped Tour this year. You know, so
Because you'll reach that customer.
we're reaching that crowd for sure. Yeah.
Well, we're at the end of our
Okay.
20 minutes, but we always ask presenters, what can the community do for you?
As far as community, anybody that would like to get involved with us or Route 247, please, you know, I have business cards here. I mean, we'd love to talk more about the event as it grows. If anybody has any ideas or suggestions, you know, I'm open ears, you know. This has been great. I really appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity and the, you know, the stage to get up here and talk.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.